Welcome to How to Tutorials. To begin, I am Dion Pouncil, founder of Money School. In this video, we will demonstrate how to get started in using the screener tools, including where to find them and the various sorting choices that are at your disposal. To start, let's talk about screeners and how you can access the different screeners on TradingView. Now, this is going to be a very basic video introducing you to the screener tools. And in future videos, we will make more complicated explainers with specific screens and scans you can do yourself. So as you can see, if you were just watching the first 25 seconds, you'll notice that if you're on a chart just like this, if you're looking at a chart at the bottom left, there's a button to open up your screener tool. All you have to do is click this and the screener pops up just like that. It's fast and fluid, and you will see all of these columns, and you can sort symbols based on these columns. And there are several ways you can do this. There's also a performance tab, extended hours, all sorts of different parameters, and ways you can scan for stocks. Now, let's not dive into that too deeply just yet. We really quickly just want to show you how to open the screener tool directly from your chart. It's right here, bottom left. By the way, there's a little drop down here, and when you click this drop down, as we just showed you probably 40 seconds ago, you can switch your screener to any of these different asset classes. Right now, we're looking at the stock screener, but we could click Forex screener and it will open up our Forex screener right here. We could click this drop down and click crypto screener and it will open up our crypto screener right here. So whether you are a stock market trader or investor, a Forex trader or investor, or a crypto trader or investor, you can screen all of these asset classes, do deep dives into what's moving, research the entire industry, and find new trading or investing opportunities just by clicking these tabs to perform sorts across the entire asset class. So if you notice, we click the 6 months and it sorts it. Okay, one more quick tip. We're going to go to the home page. If you're on TradingView.com, it will look something like this. And there is a screener button at the top of the page. You see our mouse here just hovering over it. Here it is. And once again, stock screener, Forex screener, crypto screener to start. We'll dive into the stock screener. So we click stock screener. And what we're about to show you here also applies to if you prefer to do a screen directly from the chart. Okay, let's go back to our screener here. Now, this is the stock screener, and we're just going to go over each point on the screener one by one so that when you get here, you know what to do. First of all, you're going to notice a little refresh button up at the top left. This is super important because this, if you click it, you see it's refreshing the data live. Just like that. If you click this refresh interval, you can tell the screener how often you want it to refresh. Every 10 seconds, manual, every minute. For the sake of this video, let's do every minute because we don't want the screen updating so often. So you can see the countdown even right here. 55, 54, 53. You get the idea, it will update when it hits 0. Next up is you have your column set. And this is really important because if you are creating really advanced custom scans and you want to save them, you're going to want to master what this means. Additionally, your column's set up. So before we really dive into this, we just want to show you some of the preset scans that you can look into or sort by. So if you click Overview, you'll be presented with some very basic stock market information. You can see all of these symbols. Last percentage change. Price change rating based on the technical rating according to trading, view, volume, market cap price to earn, earnings ratio, and many more. Now these columns are also clickable. So when you click a column, it will sort the entire screen by it. So let's say we want to look at the most heavily traded stocks where we can click volume. Let's click it. Yes, this is the most heavily traded stocks. So we click volume once and instantly sorting it by most heavily traded. 254 million shares traded. 223 million shares traded. 174 million shares traded. And you get the idea, if you click it again, it will reverse the sort. And now you're looking at the least traded assets. So you can scan the entire market just by clicking these columns and choosing to sort them as you please. So one quick tip. Let's say you're looking at the stock screener. As you see here, 5278 matches. That tells us that there's 5278 symbols in this stock screen or scan. We're looking at mostly US stocks, so depending on where you are in the world, you may see a different number. But we can very quickly see every day we could come to this tab. Click Overview. Then click Percentage Change, and every day we can see the best performing assets by percentage change. It's that simple. If we want to look at the best performing assets on a daily basis, we come to our screener, we click Percentage Change, and here we are. These assets are moving the most doesn't necessarily mean good or bad. But if you're looking for an explosive move to trade or maybe to dive into more, this is one simple way to get to that. Okay, there are some more preset tabs here like Performance. So if you click Performance, you'll have some very basic columns that will just tell you how an asset is performing over different periods of time. As an example, year-to-date performance. That means how our stock's performing since the start of the year. So we're going to click this, and as you see, we quickly have sorted all of these symbols by their year-to-date performance. And sure enough, we can see the best performing symbols during this year. It's 2021. Of course, we all know about GameStop. It's at 768%, and this is a very interesting way to find the top performing assets of a specific year. Then you can ask yourself, will this trend continue? Are these hot stocks, love stocks, hated stocks? You get the idea. Follow the stocks that are performing best or worst, because if we click again, it will reverse the sort and show us the worst performing stocks of the year. Remember, these are very basic tips to getting started with the screener. We will make future videos that dive into this even more so. A few more preset scans. We have extended hours valuation dividends. Now let's talk about extended hours. Why would this be helpful? Well, if you like to trade stocks based on earnings, pre-market gap ups, pre-market gap downs, pre-market volume, this is how you can do that. Click Extended Hours and then dive right in. You can begin sorting how you need to. So for example, pre-market volume, we click. And just like that, we can see what stocks have the most pre-market volume on this specific day. And why is that interesting? Because a stock that has a lot of pre-market volume may have even more volume when the trading day begins. Check this out. This stock Clover Health, had 9.86 million in pre-market volume as of right now. After the market opened, it has 223 million shares traded. So you will find sometimes a correlation between pre-market volume and volume during the day. So if you're looking for liquidity or assets to trade this extended hours, here is sometimes a great place to start. Now let's dive in a little more, because now there's valuation metrics. Not everyone is simply a trader. Some people do like to invest for the long term. They want to find undervalued companies or companies that are growing fast. And you can do that on TradingView Screener. We click Valuation and look at all of these columns available to us. We can sort by companies with the highest market cap: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. This list shows us every company now by market cap, largest to smallest. And of course, if we click it to reverse the order, we can see smallest to largest. If you're interested in price to earnings ratios, same thing. You can click to sort by that as well. Now that is the basics of the stock screener. And remember, the screener is customizable to you. So anything you want to do on this screener is most likely possible. For example, maybe you want to look at or maybe you want to sort your screener by specific parameters. So let's look at valuation. And what we can do is click filters. And what filters is going to do is narrow down the screener. So we're looking at valuation, but we want to narrow it down. And we have three options here: descriptive, fundamental, and technical. In this example, we want to look for companies that are possibly trading with a low PE ratio, and they have a lot of trading volume and are a small to medium cap size company. So let's do that. We click descriptive symbol type is fine. But we do not want ETFs or depository receipts or ADRs. We just want common stock exchange. We are okay with NYSE, ARCA, NASDAQ, and NYSE. Next up, market capitalization. We're going to want to raise this slider because, like we said, we want companies that are small to mid caps. Let's do 2 billion market cap to how about 50 billion? So what we've just done there is we've narrowed the scope of our scan. Only companies that are between 2 billion and 50 billion will show up in the scan. See these blue dots? Only companies between them. 2 billion here, 50 billion here. Only companies between these will be in the scan. And as we're making these changes, by the way, you will see the scan update automatically. So it's making live changes as we filter and reduce the amount of stocks in our scan. Let's continue. So we changed our market cap. And next up, what we want is volume. We want to find something that has quite a bit of volume traded. And for the sake of this example, we're not interested in pre-market volume or today's volume. We actually want to scan for 30-day volume. We want to see some average 30-day volume that shows some activity. So let's raise this right now, says 50,000, but we want to see a lot more than that. Let's change that to 5 million. So we want to make sure that there are a number of shares being traded on average over the last 30 days. Perfect. So now we have it between these two. And by the way, we don't want too much volume, so we're going to reduce that. Now we're going to scroll down just to make sure we didn't miss anything. All looks good. We don't care about these pre-market and post-market examples for this scan. But for future scans, we will dive into that. Now let's go to fundamentals. This is where our very simple scan begins. And what we want is we want to look at some, let's say, statistical ratios that might suggest the company is undervalued. So let's do a price to sales ratio under 3. And let's also look for our price to earnings ratio under 20. So what we've done is we've said we want to find now a company that is within 2 billion and 50 billion, one that has average traded volume of 5 million and 50 million. And then, of course, on the fundamental side, it must also have a price to earnings ratio below 20 and a price to sales ratio below 3. And as you can see, we could have switched this to anything below or equal to above. Above or equal to between, outside, equal. Tons of possibilities here. Same thing for price to earnings ratio. And by the way, as we're walking you through this example, keep in mind you can do this for any scan that you have in your mind. So all of these options can be filled in. You can make this as specific as you need to. In fact, you could even do revenue per employee. And let's add that into our scan. We want to see at least $500,000 per employee. That's pretty unique. It means that of all the company's revenue and how many employees they have, How much does the company generate per employee? Let's do greater than $500,000. So our scan is looking complete. The last thing we're going to do is technical. And what's really interesting, by the way, if we exit out, there's only 9 matches. This is a very interesting scan because we can only find 9 matches at the moment. And let's narrow it down even more. Here's what we're going to do in our next part of the scan. What we're going to do is look into technicals. Now for the technical traders out there, this is powerful. And as you see us scrolling down, you can scan based off all of these technical indicators. If you're Ichimoku, you can make a scan for that. If you like exponential moving averages, you can make a scan for that. Big D momentum, money flow, you can scan for all of these technical indicators. Extremely powerful and also really useful if you're looking for the most specific trade idea possible. So the next thing we're going to do is year-to-date performance. So this says year-to-date performance. So we've done our descriptive scan. Remember trading volume and market cap. We did our fundamental scan. We were looking for specific fundamental metrics that might mean it's undervalued. And now our technical scan. We want to see a year-to-date performance over 10%. So we type it above, click above. Year-to-date performance over 10%. This means it's up more than 10% since the start of the year. And then lastly, if we want to, what we can do is we can see here. Here we go, exponential moving average. Let's see if there's any short-term momentum behind this name that we can follow. So we could do an exponential moving average. Or if we don't want to do an exponential moving average, what actually might be even better is to simply just dive into a monthly performance. So let's just see if anything's up 5% this month. And there we have it. Now we exit out. And how interesting is that we just walked through an entire scan and we found one company that fit our scan. Now keep in mind, this is not a buy or sell recommendation. It's simply just a walkthrough. And what's so interesting about that is we only found one company that matches our exact scan. Now we can click, we go right to the simple page. Click full featured chart. And just like that, we've now opened up a chart of our scan. It's the one symbol that popped up. We changed it to daily, only count. And it's quite a powerful trade, and that is one impressive chart, and that's interesting. Now should we buy up here? No comment. This is just for education and entertainment, or should we sell it short? The point is though is that is the stock screener. And what's really valuable about that, we'll say it again, is you can do all of this yourself and more. Additionally, you can save all of your screens, and there are tons of preset screens in there. So as you can see here, it says most capitalized. But if we click the drop down, how about all of these screens that we can dive into? We can click new 52-week highs, and there we have it. We're now quickly screening for new 52-week highs while also sorting for valuation. So new 52-week highs would imply only companies that are at new 52-week highs. You can see 240 matches. So this is also a quick way to get started. You can very quickly just click this drop down and do some custom sorts, or as we mentioned, save screen as create your own screener. Save it to your account so we can do new 52X, and then let's do valuation sort because that's what we're sorting by. Click save. And now we have it saved here. Anytime we want to revisit this, we can now, there are a few more things that you can do here as well. By the way, you could change your time frame on the screen here. You could change the country and exchanges. You can also create alerts, which is a very useful feature. We'll dive into this more. If you've made it this far in the video, please stick with us because we'll make some examples on this. And you can also check your alerts log or enable alerts. And this is all available to you, like we said right here on screeners. And what we showed you in this video would work for Forex and crypto. You wouldn't have the same fundamental data like PE ratios, but same technical data, prescriptive data. You can access all of that. Now that you have learned how you can use stock screening tools through this video, we hope you can utilize this to find stocks that have the potential to provide significant returns on investment for your portfolio. Thank you for watching. View more of our helpful how-to videos on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content.